Today I want to talk about anxiety, and I'm talking specifically about the anxiety people feel when they're given evidence in the family court. There's a huge amount of anxiety about giving evidence in the family court, and with good reason, because it's frightening, it's scary, it's daunting. But when you have information about the process, when you understand it a bit better, it then becomes familiar or more familiar. And when it becomes more familiar, you're more able to manage that, manage your feelings and emotions around it, which is hugely important when you're given evidence. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story. It's a personal story, but I'm going to share it with you because it may help you. It may be helpful for you to hear it in reducing your anxiety a little bit, not totally, but a little bit more. Okay, well, this story begins a long time ago. I was a young social worker, and I was working with a family. And unfortunately, one of the children in the family died. Actually, they didn't die; they were killed in a horrific way by one of the parents. And I had to, as a result, I had to go to court and I had to give evidence. It was my first time going to court, first time giving evidence. And I'm not going to say I wasn't someone, one of my managers probably tried to prepare me, but I was totally unprepared for court. I don't think the situation is that much different now. I don't think people are that well prepared for court. But I was totally unprepared for court. I had no knowledge of what it would be like. I was a stuttering, mumbling person in the witness box. I could hardly open my mouth. I was asked questions and there was nowhere I knew how to answer it. I just wasn't in a position to answer it. And that's how it was. I don't know. It was a baptism of fire. I was traumatized. I don't even know how I was able to go back to court, but I did, time and time again. And something inside me decided that I was going to make sure that I'd never felt that way again. And over a period of time, I became really good at going to court and giving evidence. I became so good that I've written a book about giving evidence at court. So why did I share that story with you? Well, I shared that story with you to let you know that, most people, virtually probably everyone, their first time at court may be awful. It may be highly traumatic, but it doesn't mean it has to be that way always. Now, you're probably not going to go to court as often as I had to go to court, or I decided to go to court. Maybe you only go to court once or twice. Maybe you go to a few times. But, you can learn from the experience. And you can learn from the painful experience I had. And that will stand you in a better stead when you go to court. Okay, so what are the main things I think you need? What will be helpful to you if you're going to court for the first time, if you're really anxious, or if it's one of the first times you're going to court? Well, it's a process, and for me, I put it down to, or I describe it as what's be useful for you as the 4 Ps. And the first P for me is perusal. You need to read all the information, all the documents. You need to know everything in that court bundle, and you need to know it good. You need to know it really well. So after you've done that, the next P is preparation. Now I split this preparation, the second P, into 2 parts. The first part of the preparation is knowing all the evidence. It's important that you know all the evidence. And you got make notes about all the evidence, what it entails, and all the information. The second part is huge. It's about managing and preparing yourself emotionally, because giving evidence is a mental and emotional task. It's a huge mental and emotional task. So you have to be in control of your emotions. If you've done all the things about preparing for the evidence, knowing all, and yet you haven't been able to control your emotions, and you're not in control of them, and you can't manage the mental attitude, it's of no use whatsoever. You have to be able to manage your emotions, and your mental attitude has to be a good one. Now, the third P is practice. You have to practice continuously. Practice saying how you want to, what you want to say. Practice saying your case. Practice making your arguments, and practice your managing and being in control of your emotions. Now that's vital. I can't stress that enough. You have to do it enough times till you feel that you have some control over yourself. And then when you've done that, the last P is perform. Yeah. So that's the process, the 4 Ps, and I hope that's helpful to you. Again, if there's any questions, please feel free to message me and I will respond. Thank you very much.